My name's Katie. My doctor doesn't like me. I saw her last week and she goes, Katie, how much marijuana do you smoke? I was like, man. Why is that your first question? She said it wasn't. Ooh, where does the time go? She repeated the question slower and louder. I was like, I heard you. I just don't have a quantity. She got fed up. She's like, just an estimate. I was like, okay. Have you ever gotten so high you felt hopeful about the past? So that's in my chart now. While I was there, I got some blood drawn. The results came back, and my doctor told me my estrogen level's way lower than other ladies my same age. I was like, what a surprise! Ooh, the other girls are gonna be jealous! Then I ran through the wall. When I dusted myself off, I went back in. And she gave me a bone density scan. I don't mean to brag, but I have the bones of a much older woman. Ow! Much older. Dead. I don't feel good. I always wanted to leave my body to science. Can't do that now. They said no one uses chalk anymore. It's too bad. I didn't like the way she told me because she didn't even use medical terms. She was like, Katie, even your skeleton is white trash. Don't pull back. It's okay if I say white trash. I am white trash. I took a test. It was an at-home test. I just looked around my home. Then I went back to picking my teeth with a lottery ticket. I had one girl in Atlanta get mad at me after a show. She goes, it's 2023, you can't say white trash. I was like, okay. What shall I say instead? Non-biodegradable Caucasian? Is that our preferred term? I don't know. Alabaster garbage, you tell me. I'll say it. Albino riffraff, I like that one. I think there's nothing wrong with being poor. I'm poor, I own it. It's the only thing I own. I'm on social media all the time, and one of the things I don't like is all that aspirational, like, rich influencer stuff. I want to, like, counteract that. I want to be the first poverty influencer. Because, like, I'll never have enough money to summer in the Hamptons, so instead I fall in the shower. I think one of my videos is going to go viral soon. You know, it's just me going, 5 cool ways to kill bugs for free. And spend a lot of time thinking about these things. The other day I was at home alone, not a thought in my head, just the way I like it, and there was a knock at the door, and what I started doing when that happens is I just open the door. I don't even look through that little hole. It's another way for poor folks to have fun for free. No, I can't take a vacation, but I can always take a risk. It's exciting. It's like, ooh, is it my Postmates? Is it my time? On this particular day, it was a door-to-door salesman, so closer to the second, and y'all, I did not get one word out before this man said to me, the queen of the castle, I presume? I was like, how'd you get past the moat? I'm just kidding. I was too high to talk, but I had a lot I wanted to say. I just couldn't get it out, you know? Like, wanted to be like, does this guy not know I'm a woman? Has he never seen an apartment before? Like, why is he trying to milady me into a new cable provider? And then I thought of the best rebuttal. I was like, does he not know how queens work? Because I'm pretty sure they don't answer their own doors. Like, if we're all teleported to Buckingham Palace right now and we heard the doorbell ring, how many of us think we'd see Queen Charles sprinting by? It's like, me friends are here. He's all excited. He's knocking over guards, but then he gets tired halfway. He has to ride a sled of his mom's corgis to get the door. So that's what I was thinking about, corgi butts, best butts, any dogs, when I remembered he was still there. And he didn't know what to do. Like, they hadn't trained him for old worst case scenarios, so he just doubled down and said the same thing again. Like we were in a little play I'd messed up, and he was the director. He was like, back to the top, Missy, and then he said it again. A little less confident the second time, but he was like, the queen of the castle, I presume? So I just went, no, but I'll go get her for you. Come on, I'll go get the missus. She's not gonna like this. Did you think I had land rights? You're bloody stupid. And y'all, that will get rid of any man. That voice is the trick. Try it out for yourselves, Go to a club, a concert, a bar, even the grocery store. Creeps are everywhere. And just wait for one of them to be like, hey, princess. Then you whip around, oi. Have you come to plow my barren fields? Problem solved. Growing up, everybody said I was a tomboy, but look at me now. I'm a full-grown Thomas Mann. Like, the two most feminine things about me are that I'm cold and I have to pee right now. You know me, I'm a nightmare at the movie theater. I'm not good at girly things. I never have been. I don't know what to do in a situation. Like, recently I went out to brunch with some gal pals for the first time in a year because I forgot that I hated them, and we haven't changed at all. I got there early to order 2 breakfasts and eat 1 before they got there, and they show up, they order a stalk of asparagus to split. And they're the kind of girls that act like they're on The View. Do you know what I mean? They ask a lot of questions, the same ones over and over. They're like, what's your goal weight? What's your goal weight? Katie, what's your goal weight? An eighth? You guys get it. Quarter if it's payday. I tried to think of a feminine topic to bring up, and I finally jumped in the conversation while they all had their maws on the asparagus. I was like, do you guys want to know how to get free tampons? They're like, what? Do you guys want to know how to get free tampons? You're weird, how? Just stop buying them. It works. When it's your time, just slap on a pair of white jeans and run some errands, Because someone will give them to you. It's called supply and demand. And they'll demand that you take them. I do have one idea for a business. I think it would be really cool to start an all-female moving company. I'm going to call it, can you help me with this? Just me luring men into a box truck. The real money's in ransom. Despite all odds, I have a boyfriend. Some of y'all just lost a bet to yourselves. I mean, I get it. I have reflective surfaces in my home. I see what you're seeing. I don't know what happened, but I do have a theory. I think I grew up too poor to be gay. Hear me out. We didn't have any money growing up. What was I fed? Hot dogs. Corn dogs. Breakfast corn dogs. Why are all the cheapest food stick-shaped? That's what You've seen bananas. There are 1,000 of them for 10 cents. Maybe things could have been different, but not once did my mother slide me a bowl of bouillabaisse with no spoon. And just go, I don't know, use your face. Things could have been different. That's all I'm trying to say. Even ever since I was a kid, I always just thought guys had way simpler clothing, way easier style. You know what I mean? This is a man's shirt. I'm pretty sure the label just says shirt. These are women's pants. The label says curvy skinny. Thank you for knowing that's not a body type. That's a terrible way to describe a woman's anything. Do you know what save curvy skinny for something that deserves it, like a dangerous mountain road. Or spaghetti if you're stupid. I feel like... I think my main problem is I've never seen a curvy skinny woman. I've seen curvy women, I've seen skinny women, equally beautiful. But if I go to the bar later and one of y'all's like, hey, Katie, look at that curvy, skinny woman over there. I'll be like, leave that anorexic with scoliosis alone. Stop pointing, she can see you. I don't know, maybe she likes the attention, she's over there freaking like an old screen door. Ooh. Hello, boys. There couldn't have been one woman in the pant naming ceremony or whatever, Just a room full of dudes screaming oxymorons at each other jumbo shrimp, do you like that? Jumbo shrimp? Honestly, if they'd called them ass and ankles, they would have sold 10 times as many. Ass and ankles? Cute. And you go to any store, you go to a men's pant wall at a fine establishment, they have the pant wall. You know where I'm talking about. What are the fits for guys? They're always so simple. It's straight, straighter, straightest, dad. That's it. And I feel like guys sometimes can't relate to how women feel when we're marketed to this way, so I've come up with a product to even the playing field. Fellas, would you buy a condom if the label said curvy skinny? Oh, because I tell you what, that describes them all perfectly. Come on, make some noise if you got a silly straw ding ding, huh? Whose wiener looks like a curly fry? I'm starving all of a sudden. I'm just so hungry. I was a weird kid. I was very weird. I was also very poor, so you could catch me in the middle of that Venn diagram eating free lunch with my English teacher. Yeah. Her name was Miss Deal. She was 55, recently divorced. What better friend for a 14-year-old gal? We had a lot in common, starting with boys didn't like either one of us, and every day I would eat lunch with her, and she would tell me about her dreams. And I don't mean her goals and aspirations. She taught English in Western North Carolina. Those were dead. I'm talking about her chamomile-induced night terrors. So I'd come in, my little square piece of pizza, and she'd be waiting for me oh, Katie, I had that dream again. You know the one, I'm driving the RV, and I can't find a parking spot for nothing. So I'm going back and forth and back and forth. All of a sudden, I look down, and the steering wheel's made out of my ex-husband's pelvic bone. What do you think that means? I think that means we need friends our own age. Didn't make any. Back the next day. Some chicken ring thing. She was waiting for me again. She's like, oh, Katie, I had a new one last night. Last night I dreamt I was in an elevator going up and down and up and down. All of a sudden I started giving birth. Didn't even know I was pregnant. And the only thing that came out was the laugh box from a Tickle Me Elmo. What do you think that means? Like, I think that means you passed out with your vibrator in your sweatpants. We had lunch and detention together that day. I am from the South, if you're wondering how Southern I am. I believe in vaccines, but not recycling. I know a scam when I see one. So I've been staying with my mom in my hometown of Flat Rock, North Carolina, and she just keeps insisting that I need to, like, settle down. She's like, you need to think about buying a house. Okay. Thought about it. Don't think it's gonna happen. Like, I don't think I'm a homeowner. Like, in my heart, like, I'm a renter. Do you know what I mean? I don't have the aesthetic to own anything. Everybody I know who's bought a house just turned into like a Pinterest, like Etsy freak. Do you know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden they're obsessed with like reclaimed barnwood signs. And I don't like them because, first of all, they always have mismatched fonts on them. It's always like Courier and cursive duking it out, like, family, gather, family. Is it a riddle? And I just can't believe any of those decorations, because I know these people. I knew until, like, they bought the house, they were a different person. Like, I have one friend, she has the literal, like, penultimate, like, live, laugh, love sign in her house. Like, the quintessential live, laugh, love. I'm like, up until 3 months ago, your life motto was lie, lose, leave. Even my mom has one. She has one with like a little religious twist to it. It says, when God closes a door, he opens a window. Renters can't relate to that. None of our windows open. I feel like if you want like the equivalent of that in a renter form, you need like a poster that just says like, a wall may stop your fist, but a window will open up your arm. But Flat Rock's like really, it's really bleak. If you don't go there, it's just don't. If you have to go, just know that it's very redneck and it's very religious. So there's like two things to do. You can go to Walmart or you can go to hell. I spent a lot of my teenage years in a Walmart for fun. This is so embarrassing. I went to Walmart on my 19th birthday, and I'll never forget it. It was so magical. I was in line behind this woman, and her shirt was so long, she was just like, fuck pants, and her cart was full of stuff I'd never want for myself, like Dr. Thunder soda, tater tots, marshmallow fluff, a child. Ugh. Where'd you find him? Bottom of the DVD bin? I didn't know if they came together or if she picked him up there until he said, Mama, I want some gum. And then she hit him back with, I ain't getting you no gum. You don't chew it, you just eat it. So we've had this conversation before. I don't know what the big deal is, you know. I thought she should have let him eat the gum. The healthiest thing in her cart was track phone minutes. And I don't want kids. I think I'd be a terrible father, but I don't want to, butt into other people's business, but I just had like this overwhelming desire to grab her by that big old shirt and be like, Tammy! I knew that was her name because it was airbrushed underneath Jamaican Tweety Bird. Tammy! Let him eat the gum. It would be the most nutritionally sound thing. in Dale Jr.'s diet. I didn't say that. Who am I to judge? I was there buying cigarettes with a gift card. Happy birthday. I've been watching a lot of local news at my parents' house. They don't have cable. They didn't have cable when we were growing up either, and that's all we ever watched. That we watched the news like it was TV. Like that was my HBO. The news was my Game of Thrones, just a cast of characters I'd never see again. And now I'm watching them again, and I'm learning so much about like human nature. Because if you have a speaking role on the local news, things aren't going well. And I just know that if that ever happens to me, and if it ever happens to you, you don't have to talk to them. If they come to your house with a camera and a microphone, shut the door. It's not going to make your life better. Especially a lot of these interviews start with the word, well. That's how you know it's going to be tragic. Like I was watching the other day, and there's this woman who was so confident for someone wearing a house coat outside, and she looked right into the camera and she goes, well, I come up my driveway and my trailer was on fire. I was like, oh my God, my trailer's on fire. I like to have a heart attack. I'll say it again because I love saying it. I'd like to have a heart attack. If y'all don't think that's fun in the mouth, try it on the way home. Roll it around. Heart attack. It's like eating an apple, I imagine. But I think what watching the news as a child did was like subconsciously teach me a lesson, and that is not to try any schemes. That's a good way to get caught and put on the news. And I know that because I'm dumb, but I have a lot of good ideas. So just don't listen to them anymore. But I had one that was so tempting. I wanted to do it so bad. There's a short period in time where everybody who wanted the vaccine got it, and everybody else was like, fuck you, fight me! It was an exciting time. And the government didn't know what to do. They were like, how do we trick them? And they decided on a monetary incentive. So like 40 or 42 states, however many we have now, we're all offering $100 to get the vaccine. I don't know if you guys got to see any of this on the news, but it was a little pathetic to watch like all these mayors of major American cities on the national news trying to tempt their constituents like a bridge troll. Just 5 spread out $20 bills. Whoa. Have you ever seen this kind of money? And I'm a comedian, so I haven't, and when I tell you I was tempted. You know, I'm already on the road. I had a few stops. I could triple my yearly income. But I do not want to be on the news. Because I know I'd be like, well, I made $5,000 in a week. Then my asshole fell out of my pussy. I want to tell you all about the thing I wanted more than anything growing up was a trampoline. Did anybody here have a trampoline? Oh my God, the Rockefellers are here. Hi. I wanted one so bad, but growing up, my mom said we couldn't have one because they were white trash. I was like, yeah. Let's complete the set. And my neighbors had one, and I was so jealous of them because I didn't think they deserved it. They didn't. They were 2 adults with no children. That's the scariest thing I've ever heard. That's so creepy. That's the beginning of a horror movie. Just... They were never that quiet. They fought all the time. They'd have these screaming matches inside, outside, on the trampoline. Like, I fucking hate you! I fucking hate you! I wish I never sold my gun to buy your Xbox. Well, I guess it's the goddamn gift of the Magi, bitch. They're angry but literate folks. And there was one Christmas where I thought I was finally going to get a trampoline. Like, it felt right. It snowed, and then the power went out, and I got socks. And I was like, that's right. But my dad got the generator. He brought it outside, cranked it up. We had a lovely low-light Christmas. But our neighbor's power went out also, and they cranked their generator up in the living room. I'm so glad y'all know not to do that, because you will have your last sleepy Christmas. And we didn't know what had happened next door. All we saw outside were all these lights, like cop cars, ambulances, fire trucks pulling up. And I was like, oh my God, they finally killed each other. I'm getting that trampoline. They didn't die. They were on the local news like, well... Comedy is the best job I've ever had. I love it. I love it. It's, it's great. The only thing is, like, traveling can be hard. Sometimes, like, this club put me in a great hotel. But last weekend, the club, have y'all ever stayed at a La Quinta? Yeah, they put me up at one. It wasn't even a full-size one. It was a La Quinta Pequeño, and muy small, muy mal. It was just one of those places that didn't have any amenities. I walk into the bathroom, there's no shampoo. I had to go all the way down to the front desk and ask for shampoo, and the woman behind the counter goes, hold out your hand and say when. I was like, is that dish soap? She goes, it's Dawn. At least it's name brand. She goes, I'm Dawn. I'll stay anywhere that offers a free breakfast. It gets me in trouble because I've been using a Priceline because they got a feature for poor people called Mystery Room. Ooh, Mystery Room, like the Riddler has opened a bed and breakfast. And I went to this one place because specifically it said free breakfast on the website. I pull up, they have a huge banner outside that says free breakfast. I get inside, the woman goes, no breakfast. It's like, okay, well, what's that toaster for? She said the bathtub. Sometimes you want to check out early. I'm trying to get over some fears, and one of the things that I was scared of, and I'm still scared of, is guns. But I was really trying to get over it, and I was trying to do what's it called, immersion therapy or exposure therapy, where you put yourself in a situation with a thing you're afraid of. And since I'm afraid of guns, I went to Florida. That's where they're born. I think one's running for governor. It's a great place. And I went to a gun show because I was doing shows in Tampa, Florida, and I went to a gun show. Make some noise if you've been to a gun show. Oh, yeah. If you haven't been, you should go. I know it's scary for us, a gun show's like a haunted house for liberals, but you'll be okay. They also don't just sell guns at gun shows. I didn't know that. I walk in, first thing I see is a jewelry booth. And this woman has made necklaces out of shotgun shells with a crystal shoved in it. Finally. They've harnessed the healing power of crystals and the killing power of bullets. 2 for $10. But I wanted to talk to her more, but I saw this man across the conference hall, and he was so sweaty, but he wasn't moving. So I was like, he's thinking about something cool. And I walk over, he clocked me as a woman. I was like, good eye. And he asked me what I did. I told him I did comedy, and he gave me this weird little keychain weapon that looks like a cat. Because if I'm going to protect myself, I want it to be cute, It's got little sharp cat ears. I couldn't bring it on the plane. It's illegal. But he gave it to me for free. And he goes, okay, when you get attacked, I was like, when? Is that what you were thinking about? He goes, fine. If you get attacked, you put your fingers in here, and then you jab it in their neck. No, thank you. Like, I'm not a neck jabbing kind of gal. I've only got 2 shirts. I don't want to ruin one of them. But the crazy thing, it's made me very confident. It's made me so confident that I'm offering other female comedians to walk them to their cars. Like I'm going to turn their rape into our murders. Who wants to go to brunch? Before I go, do y'all want to hear my regular closer or a dark joke? I thought so, Portland. I thought so. I got tricked by my brunch friends into signing up for Pinterest. I hate it. I want to delete it immediately because the first thing I saw on there was a paid post, a sponsored promotional post. So he put money into this, and it was a picture of those conjoined twins from the 90s. Okay, some of y'all remember them, cool. Okay, if you don't know what they look like, 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 heads, no big deal. Let's move on. And so it was a picture of them, unaltered in any way, but over the top in big bold letters it said, Abby and Brittany Hensel are unrecognizable now. I bet I could pick them out of a crowd. Put me in, coach. I mean, they could even slap a hat on one of them, make it a challenge. I will find them. But then I started to get worried that, so I clicked on the link. They're fine. They teach 5th grade in Minnesota now. And I think that's great because kids don't have enough to be afraid of. I think that's... Do y'all think they get 1 paycheck or 2 paychecks? It is 1 paycheck. That's messed up. That is so messed up, They have 2 mouths to feed. I don't... And everything's like getting really expensive. How are they going to get like a part-time job to supplement their income? All I can imagine is like Abby's teaching math and Brittany starting an OnlyFans to the side. She's just taking pictures of her boob. It's fine. That's hers. Yeah. If you didn't like that, you're not a feminist. But I was telling that joke in Atlanta, and the woman in the front row at this show clasped her hands over her mouth, and I was like, oh my God, what's wrong? And she goes, my ex-boyfriend is married to them now. Oh. I know. I was like, I guess you didn't give him enough head. Thank you guys very much. That's my time.
Yeah.